B.P.A, the headquarters of the Bureau of Paranormal Affairs, hidden 30 floors beneath a seemingly ordinary financial building in downtown Manhattan. This is humanity's first line of defense against the unknown darkness, and also the only one. At this moment, the lobby was as busy as a battlefield. Agents sprinted while clutching documents, analysts shouted at walls full of monitoring screens, and even the few warlocks had been summoned back to calibrate the headquarters' magical arrays. The elevator doors opened amidst the chaos. Jax and Val walked out. At this moment, the entire lobby seemed to have been put on pause. All eyes were involuntarily drawn to these two men. Jax walked in front. Wearing his signature leather jacket, he was like a lion intruding into a flock of sheep, sweeping his fierce gaze over the surroundings. Anyone who dared to meet his eyes for more than a second would instinctively feel a chill run down their spine. Val trailed half a step behind him. Wearing an immaculate elite suit with his hands in his trouser pockets, his expression was so indifferent that he seemed not to belong to this world. Looking straight ahead, he turned a blind eye to the surrounding gazes, whether they were of awe or curiosity. Looking at the crowded people ahead, Jax, like a short-tempered male lion, let out a roar directly at a young analyst blocking the middle of the path.
Out of the way! Were your eyes eaten by ghouls?
The young analyst was scared out of his wits, nearly spilling his hot coffee all over the floor.
Sorry, Sir Jax!
He didn't even bother to pick up the documents dropped on the ground, stumbling and sprinting away as if he had seen a ghost. Jax did not stop his steps. Like Moses parting the sea, he forcefully carved a path through the crowded room. Extremely low whispers began to sound around them. In a corner, a senior agent tightly grabbed the rookie beside him, lowering his voice to a whisper.
See that? That's the butcher, Jax. I heard he tore apart that ghoul lord that appeared in Brooklyn last night, all by himself.
The rookie agent hid behind the veteran, his eyes containing both admiration for the strong and a deep fear of unknown power.
Who's that behind him? That man who looks like a movie star?
That's Consultant Valerian. No one knows his background. Even the director has to treat him with utmost respect. Don't stare at him, kid, unless you want Jax to gouge your eyeballs out. Jax's possessiveness over him, it's absolutely pathological.
Jax seemed to have heard these discussions. He suddenly stopped in his tracks, abruptly turned his head, and locked his pitch-black eyes onto the corner where they were just speaking. Jax let out a spine-chilling sneer. Although his voice wasn't loud, it was like the decree of the Grim Reaper, instantly spreading throughout the entire lobby.
Do you all have too much free time? Do you want me to send you to the Siberian branch to count Yetis?
The entire lobby instantly plunged into dead silence. Everyone immediately lowered their heads, not even daring to breathe too heavily. Jax snorted with satisfaction and turned back around. That fierce expression softened the instant he looked at Val. He reached out a hand, lightly hovering over Val's back, a highly obvious gesture of protection, or rather, control.
This way, darling. Vance said the kid is in Interrogation Room 3.
Val nodded slightly. Although feeling helpless regarding Jax's extreme possessiveness, his expression also revealed a trace of the calmness of being protected.
Jax, whether you are afraid or not, don't do anything unnecessary.
They walked through the long corridor and arrived at the interrogation area at the end. This place never saw the sunlight all year round, and the air was filled with the smell of disinfectant and stale cigarette smoke. The door to Interrogation Room 3 was tightly shut, A squad of fully armed guards stood at the entrance. On the wall was a massive one-way mirror, offering a clear view of the scene inside.
I can't wait. Let me see which reckless brat has a death wish, daring to ask for you by name.
Jax leaned close to the glass, looking inside with a face full of disdain. But Val didn't move. Standing one step away from the glass, his body suddenly stiffened. Even through the thick, bulletproof glass, even without having seen the person yet, he could already feel it. That aura, that faint yet exceptionally clear pulsation. It was a calling from the past, an echo long annihilated in the river of time. After taking a few steps, Jax noticed the person beside him hadn't kept up, and he turned his head in confusion.
Val, what's wrong? Come over and look. This kid is as skinny as a monkey.
Val's gaze pierced through the glass, landing on the boy's chest. Even though it was covered by clothes, he could feel what was hidden there. A wave of dizziness struck him. The reality before his eyes twisted and faded. He had returned to the top of that pure white tower. It was once his home, and also his cage. It was a grand spectacle, an image remaining in Val's memory that had not faded for thousands of years. A massive, ancient bronze mirror hovered beside the throne of the All-Father. The surface of the mirror rippled like water waves, reflecting the shadows of all existing things, as well as the karma and end of everything in the world.
Look at it, my child. This mirror can see everything. It can see the deepest fears hidden in human hearts. And it can see the moment the world is destroyed. It is my eyes and your protection. It is the path I have walked, and the commandment you must obey.
That was the Yata mirror, the All-Father's most personal artifact, and also the tool used to control all living beings, in the most secretive, inescapable way. Val snapped back to his senses abruptly, cold sweat soaking his back. What that boy was carrying seemed to be a fragment of that mirror. If it were true, then at this very moment, could the All-Father be peering at them from the darkness through this fragment? Right at this moment, as if sensing Val's gaze, the boy who had kept his head lowered suddenly moved. He slowly raised his head. Those pitch-black, hollow eyes accurately pierced through the one-way mirror, looking straight at the exact spot where Val stood.